CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screens.
ACTV, where we be at 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, still keeping you entertained all the way up to 5 o'clock. But I am actually very mad at all of you because I've been telling you to go on our social media pages. And I'm not seeing the interactions that I want. So please, 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 if you're at home and you're watching and you're enjoying the show, hop on our socials. It is EKSE_live on Twitter, as well as Instagram, as well as EKSE Live on Facebook. But listen, I promised you fashion, okay? This human being has done so much, from South African Fashion Week to dressing all your favorite celebrities to doing Zim Fashion Week and UK Fashion Week. There's so many things that has been doing. So Zim, stand all the way up for one of your owners in the building. He goes by the name of Kuda, who is the founder and owner of House of Hohwa, which is House of Mushrooms, which I think is pretty funny, but we're going to chat to him about that a little later on. But without any further ado, thank you so much and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I feel like the first thing is, okay, you are the founder and owner of House of Hohwa.
Yep.
And we were speaking about it, how Hohwa means mushrooms.
Yep.
Can you please just tell our viewers why that name and why did you choose the vegetable mushrooms?
Okay, vegetable mushrooms, but so mushroom itself is it's more of like a connotation of what the brand is. So the diversity of how the mushroom is and just the characteristics that the mushrooms have. So you have mushrooms come in different sizes, shapes, and colors, and different species, and so forth. So in the beginning, the idea was to find a sort of like a resemblance of what the mushroom was, and resembled it in our clothing itself. But overall, I think it's an umbrella term which is all about diversity, which is now, dives into culture. And as you know, fashion and culture itself, they're very interlinked, especially African culture as well. Yeah.
And first and foremost, I must say you came through looking good.
Thank you.
And I'm guessing you're wearing your own brand. So what can we classify it? People would be like, okay, I don't know, high fashion, I do streets, I do African. Like, what is it that you feel like your brand stands for and does when it comes to garments?
So my idea of what fashion is and where it's going, it's mostly street, because street is literally breaking all the rules of fashion and everything else, which is how people express how they what they are character-wise and everything else. You express it into your clothing. So the idea of what those clothes, the idea of fashion itself is now moving into the future as street. So that's where we fit in. I think we've always been an edgy brand itself, but then I think now what's really nice about my brand is that we are street but ethnic at the same time. So we're street African. Which I think is very difficult to find. But I think we're trying to speak to the future of fashion in Africa itself. So street ethnic is what you would probably call my brand.
Okay, I love that. And how did you come up with that? Because there's so many. First of all, did you grow up thinking that you wanted to be a fashion designer? And if yes, were you like, actually, this is what I want to do. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but I want to mix prints and colors and do all these really cool things. Or you're like, I want to be a doctor, and then that changed, and that changed again, and it changed again.
Absolutely. I never thought I was going to be a fashion designer. It's just, I think my growing up as in my youth, basically in my childhood days, it was much more easier for me because I think my mom was a seamstress, so she used to have a little machine in the corner and make garments and stuff. And my dad was a professional. He was a professional, but he was mostly involved in photography. He loved music as well. So like that environment was very artistic. So in the beginning, I was a musician. I was a dancer that became a musician. And then the music thing didn't work. And then I went and I studied film. And then after film, I didn't even get into the industry. I just picked up on fashion. And this is where we are. So Hohwa itself is also the nickname of the neighborhood I grew up in. So like the influence of what I used to see back in the days, the art, the graffiti, the hip hop dances, the hip hop battles and stuff, I think that's just created that whole street style feeling. But I didn't just want to be a street style, street brand that's just, that will sink in when it goes into the world. I wanted to have a street brand that will stand out everywhere else. And I think we've seen a lot of that internationally as well, which is amazing.
And I love that. Also, what makes you think of these designs? Are you like a creative who like, okay, I'll see some colors and I think, okay, something will work, or you draw it first? Like what goes into your creative process? Because I know it changes for everyone.
It does. I think for me, it's I look at my surroundings after some time, and then I realize the colors that are in like my studio or my house.
Okay.
You know, when you buy something and then you
there.
realize there's a lot of orange here, and you think, oh shit, maybe orange is.
Okay.
This is where we're going.
This is where we're going this time.
Exactly. You know, so then you start. I don't usually do the whole sketching process.
Okay.
My idea is not, for me, I just want to see the physical thing. So that you go out to suppliers and you start looking at materials and, you know.
Do you feel like that was the influence that your mom gave you also? Because, I mean, she was a seamstress, so you
It's
saw the thing, so now you work with it physically.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because like I could see, I wasn't doing what she was doing. I wasn't interested in it. But like, you know, I used to like pick up certain things, and then sometimes she'd be like, you know, go get that and put it here, and, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I think eventually the whole, you know, artistic side of me and creative side of me actually started coming together.
Yeah.
So I think that's my creative process. I have to be influenced by something, and it has to be close to home.
Yeah, and what I love about what we were talking about a little earlier on is the fact that when you guys have something coming out, it's like a new season, a new different type of clothes. Walk us through how you do that and how you pick actually what's the theme for the season and why we are bringing these type of clothes to our people in this current time.
So what we do is we conceptualize ideas of collections and everything else.
Yeah.
The idea is to look at what concept is there. I like to do things with purpose. I don't just like making clothes.
Yeah.
I like to make clothes with a concept. So what we do is we look at an African story. You know, sometimes we're trying to educate people on certain things, and we're looking at the current times as well.
Yeah.
You know, and then we blend that into the concept, and then obviously the whole color palettes and, you know, fabric choosing and swatches and stuff like that, they now come into play, and then you do the construction of the garments, and then you have a theme of how you actually, you know, market it and bring it out and so forth. So it's like kind of like the process itself.
Yeah, and I mean, you start from the process, then you actually come out to showcase these clothes. That's what my next point, which I'm going to. I mean, you've been so successful in so many different things. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Now, but what does it take to be a successful designer, to be a successful person who owns a successful brand? I feel like people don't understand the magnitude. It's not just about the clothes, it's about the promotion, it's about the marketing. There's so much that goes into it. Walk me through your process.
It's very difficult. I think first of all you have to create relationships with people, and you have to work with what you have.
Yeah.
That's whenever you are, work with what you have and do what you can. And I think a lot of people want to do extra, and you end up not, you know,
getting anything.
Yeah. So work with what you have, create relationships. The fashion industry in South Africa, or in Africa rather, is not that big.
Yeah.
As much as we think it's, you know,
like it's so many people.
It's very small. So if you mess up people in that industry, then you are going to have issues and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, just go to the right people and they'll do the things for you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And what is in the future for H of H? What are you thinking about right now? I mean, we're heading into a new season.
Yes.
We went to Stoti, but have you released anything, or are you still working on it?
No, still working on that. So I'm in Cape Town to sort of like get some inspiration of what to do next, and I've limited time because winter is just now.
Like literally, it's around the corner.
I know, yeah. But we're gonna put something together. Nothing crazy or hectic, just something for winter. And then the biggest one is summer. So in summer,
summer is the real.
So we're conceptualizing a very controversial, a very progressive type of mindset into the clothing. And we are just going to start marketing it and going forward and see what happens. And then obviously a string of fashion shows as we go.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And where can we find you? I mean, you're speaking about marketing and a huge play that social media plays when it comes to marketing. So where can we find you on social media? Where can we find House of Hohwa on social media? Just give me all of those handles.
All right, so House of Hohwa across all platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's at House of Hohwa, which is Hohwa is spelled Hohwa. You can just type in Hohwa, you'll find it. And then you can find me on Instagram mainly as the Kuda Matiza.
The Kuda Matiza. Thank you so much for joining us and
Thank
for
you
chatting
so much
to
for
us.
having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please look forward to all the things that he's going to be doing. Guys, first of all, I went to the Instagram. I saw the design. When I say street, ethnic, rounded, everything that he's doing, it's literally so incredible. So make sure that you check it out.